One of the first mining camps in Nye County, Potomac was formed in 1862 and was active until 1870. The next period of activity began in the 1930s and lasted into the early 1950s. This building is the largest structure at the site. The plywood construction suggests that it is relatively recent compared to the other buildings. This area was probably the kitchen, judging by the presence of a large sink. Behind the sink is a small room with shelves, which was probably a pantry. My guess is that this building was a mess hall for the miners. Across from the mess hall is the first of two wooden cabins. Sadly, this cabin has been heavily vandalized. The second cabin is in much better condition, though it too has been vandalized. Both cabins have board and batten siding, which tells me these buildings are probably older than the mess hall. I love the texture and color of these rocks and the colorful lichens. A short distance away is a much older cabin covered with rusted sheet metal and badly damaged. More early period structures are found a little farther down the canyon. The most prominent of these is a large cabin covered in corrugated metal. The cabin is set into the hillside. Unfortunately, this has resulted in flooding of the cabin as heavy rains poured down the slope and into the doorway. The entire floor of the cabin is covered with dry mud and debris. This must have been a pretty cozy little cabin in its prime. At this end of the building is a root cellar, partially dug into the hillside. Next to the cabin is a garage. It looks like the builder just added the wood frame structure to the ruins of an existing dugout from an earlier period. Nearby is a small chicken coop tucked under a tree. I found another small cabin across the canyon. A large chicken coop with a fenced yard stands near the cabin. At the mouth of the canyon, I found one more cabin. The roof had wood shingles, which are now mostly missing. The walls of this cabin are covered with small sheets of metal cut from cans and soldered or welded together. Thanks for watching.